The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
Get ready, so get set, so hang on, so buckle up, so sit tight, so strap yourself in, so brace yourself, so keep your eyes open, so fasten your seatbelt, so stick around, so hang on, so get ready. You just have to be ready. Brace yourself. What you're about to see will open your eyes. The surprises never stop. So you better hang on. So get ready. So fasten your seatbelt. So hold on tight. So hang on. So get ready to get ready. And get ready to get real.
The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary. I say, moo.
Abducted by aliens the other day. I was given chores to do, told to eat my vegetables, take a shower, brush my teeth. That's when I knew I was in the mothership.
tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. It's a Friday night. Whoop, whoop. We made it. You're on the correct side of the grass. We traveled through another week. It seems like it's only been just a day or so. And here we are. And, oh, if I'm going to say it, I might as well play her here. And so here we are.
And so here we are.
I don't know how often I actually do that before I actually turn on my camera. But, wow, what a week it's been. And it seems like it just flew by, and so much is happening, and there's a lot of chat, a lot to talk about. And so I think tonight I actually counted them, and I don't know, I think I might have had this before, but rare. I have 107 tabs that we need to get through before before the internet crashes. So so we'll just pray for that to be held up, and we'll make it. So okay, so first off, let's turn on my camera. It's this button over here.
Clickety click.
Hey, everybody. Good to be seen by you all. Another happy Friday night. Thank you all for being here and joining me in this journey, whatever this is. It's nice to have all these wonderful souls coming by and seeing what's up. So, and it's funny. I looked at this shirt. It says I'm normal. Isn't that funny? See, I'm telling you, I'm normal because I don't know. It's interesting. The deeper you get into, I find that you get into spirituality, Jesus says, the people that kind of get turned off to it. And so that's what I try to do on this show, or whatever this mess is that I do. Incorporate a little bit of that teaching in there, as far as the Bible and your salvation and the times that we're in, that kind of thing. But then also go through the news and the stories and the things, and comment in a way that helps us get through all this, because the shirt that I'm wearing, which I haven't worn in a long time, actually doesn't just say normal. It says normal is not coming back. Jesus is.
That's very true.
And I'm going to talk about that today, because what we know as normal keeps changing. And when you get to the age that you start to get gray in your beard, you've seen a lot of changes. And the society moves on in different ways. It'll never go back to, nobody will ever use a rotary dial phone anymore. Very few people actually have a landline. No one's going to understand what it means to have a dime in your pocket so you can make a phone call and memorize everybody's phone number so you can actually call them. Because now all I do is I just look at my phone and I pick a name or a number, and the phone remembers the number, but I don't anymore.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I know I'm not alone with this. It's funny because we talk about ourselves that we've become the most advanced technology society. Okay, fine. These machines have gotten advanced, but we've gone backwards. Like, we're forgetting things that we used to know, and not because we've gotten older and can't remember it. It's because it's no longer relevant. If my phone remembers everybody's phone number, why should I? But then, God forbid, you end up in jail. Who are you going to call? I have 3 numbers memorized, and one's my father, and God love him, he passed away a few years ago. So I really wish I could switch that one out for another one, but I can't. It's just that way. So we're going to talk about the stuff going on in the world today. And but you also have to remember this. I really wanted to make sure that I brought this up. I'll do it right in the beginning. We could do the Shilly thing. You want to do that? Let's do that and get that out of the way. Where's my clickety click button here? So if you did want to support us over here, we have a Cash App, we have PayPal, and it looks like Mad Pax just did it in the and so did Wendy. God bless you, Wendy. You can become a member. And I appreciate all of you members and Patreons. I have some of those still that have been with me forever. Sandlot reference. And Mad Pax, God bless you. You're awesome. You're awesome too. My wife and I. So thank you for that. And then there's also my wife she makes the most amazing soaps that you'll ever try. Hands down. There's no one that makes them better. And she told me to say that. No, and these are the soaps. Some are sold out, but she's got her orders filled, except the one that was stolen by the post office. And so she's in the process of finishing that one up, and that should go out hopefully this week, I think, coming up. So we'll get that one out to you. And I haven't forgot, if you're Connor, if you're there, or Still Prill. And like Still Prill, I'll send you an email. I need your a mailing address. I'm supposed to mail off, where are they? Those bears over there. See, they're still over there. Haven't gotten to it. We've been trying to come up with different things we could do to sign. We want them signed. Like, you can't sign the stuffy, so you got to put a shirt on it and sign it. We're thinking, or a scarf. I don't know. We'll figure something out and get those out as soon as I can. That's why I don't like doing contests, and I get stuck trying to figure stuff out like that. But we'll get it out there, and I'll probably do another contest too, because I'm just that way. Might as well do. We have what, 4 bears? Should I do the other 2 right now? And hon, that we only have to go to the post office once. Once we figure it out. Okay, this is silly. Well, 2 more names. This is from members and patrons and all that. So, oh, and Wendy just became one. Here, I'll throw Wendy in there. Pen. Where's the pen? And I got the ones from last week that joined up too. So thanks for that. And I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing it just a way to try to thank everyone. So, and then Wendy just gifted 5 more. Wait, I got more names to write. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's that one. And now I need a new piece of paper. My goodness. What is going on? Ridiculous. Sorry, everyone. Okay. There. I can sigh if I want to. It's my party, sigh if I want to. Okay. Hopefully I got my good reading spectacles on. So we got Marcus. I think that says Marcus. Okay. Got Marcus in here. Okay. And Yaya. All this for the silly bears. You all are hilarious. Yayas. I think that says, Nia Yas. Nia. Okay. There. Is that it? Peace, Nav. Peace, Navidad. You can get me singing. Nobody wants that. Trust me. Go watch my Elon video. Although I did win a Grammy for it. So there's that. But Elon Musk actually did block the person that sent it to him to see. So he actually saw it. Tobin Schwing. Haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you. Tobin's on there. Schwing. Okay. Is that everybody? Amy. Okay. And I want to give it to the show. So what is that? CANAI. Okay. And then that one in there. And then Leslie, it looks like. Leslie. Okay. Now we're good. It's only these bears people don't get all excited. But who knows? They are very cute bears. They are. We'll figure something out. Okay. And they're soft. That's why I can't write on them. Okay. I have auto tune. Yeah, I'm doing. I should get an auto tune. So, okay. There we go. How many bears? We already got 2. One given. So we got 2 more. Okay, ready? So I got whoever this is. That says Catherine Shoot. All right. So put you here with, where's Connor's name and Still Pro? Oh, here they are. Okay, got it. All right, one more. What do we got? What does this say? Jenny. Hey, Jenny. All right. Okay. So I've Jenny. Yeah. So I've given away all 4 bears. I might do other things. I just don't want to make it all about that, for at least not right now. I got a lot to do, a lot to talk about. And I'm sorry. Yeah, Catherine, Jenny, Connor, and Still Pro. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So we're good there. All right. What happened? I'm not sure. Well, you're in there though, Mad Pax. I know you're in there. I can go through and make sure, but that's right. He won, didn't he? Yeah. You already won. All right. That's enough. Okay. Oh, Sue says forgiveness. I like it. That's cool. Cat in a Hat. She's already up here. She walked by me. She's like really obnoxious, walked by my feet. and then goes to an area where no one can get her. So maybe we'll try. We'll see what we can do. So she's in her spot. Exactly. So, all right. So Wendy and Mad Pax and Wendy and Mad Pax. So, okay. All right, you all. God bless you. Okay. So where should we go from here? Let's start talking about some of these tabs here. Let me get rid of this. And did you like that new little cat? I don't know. I found that I just had to play it. So I don't know. I find that really hilarious. Obviously. Okay. So where should we start? So the thumbnail is the more you know. What is it? The crazier it gets. I didn't remember my own thumbnail here. Let me look. What does this say? How do I let's see? Yeah, the more you know, the crazier it gets. And it was inspired because as things, the more that we understand the world around us, the more bizarre it seems. And it reminded me of when I was a kid. They used to play these in our after school specials and stuff. The more you know, they'd come on and they'd be like, it's not cool to say this to a person that's like that. Just turn the other cheek and do that. The more you know. And then they'd play this. Okay, so let's get into this. We got all kinds of things to do. Scary space news, of course, all the stuff going on in Utah. We got to cover that still. And the royalty and everybody on our country and they've been everywhere. So we'll start off with, I don't know about you. I've done this kind of frustration before. The caption said he spent an entire day building this door to keep his cat from going to the other room.
Well, that didn't work.
That didn't work. But I've known that frustration. So yeah, you can put a screen on it. Yeah, but isn't that great? I mean, the cat doesn't even like paw. It's too much. So, all right, back to the drawing board on that. 106 tabs. And then, of course, we were just having this discussion about, we have one of these dogs that likes to sit and with her butt up against you, facing out.
So did you know dogs will sit facing away from you as a sign of trust and a sign that they're protected?
That's all the video is. It's the whole clip. But a couple things about it. One is they got me on this, of course. But two is it just me, or is that like almost like I could call this AI? That looks like a human face in that dog. Am I wrong? Do you see that? How does that look like a human? It's very sus. Very sus. Anyways, so okay. That's the way they look at us when they're hungry and they think we don't know it. I think that's what we get there. And this, because we're always talking about maybe we should move. Hun, I found the place. I think these are great. So their houses now, you know, the people that go ice fishing and freeze their cojones off. These people, they build a house.
Why would anyone cut a hole right in the middle of their house? Building a cellar? Running some weird experiment? Nope. The real answer is fishing. This is Minnesota, where lakes freeze solid every winter. Locals came up with a unique way to fish through the ice, the ice fishing house. First, they haul a small cabin out onto the frozen lake with a pickup truck. Then they open a hatch in the floor, drill a hole straight through the ice, and just like that, they can fish without ever stepping outside.
Isn't that something? Bring the outdoors inside.
And don't worry about the cold. These cabins come with heating systems, so you can walk around barefoot and still stay warm. Some even have a fishing hole cut right in the bathroom floor.
That's getting a little bit much. I don't think I'd want to fish while I'm on the toilet. Yeah, that's a little too far, right? Just feet on the earth.
So yes, you can literally fish while on the toilet. For extra fun, people drop underwater cameras through the hole, hook them up to a big screen TV, and watch schools of fish swim by while sitting on the couch.
I like that. That's cool.
It's basically like live streaming your own fishing trip. Compared to traditional ice fishing, standing out in the freezing wind all day, this is pure comfort. You can watch TV, babysit the kids, and reel in fish, all without worrying about catching a cold.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk. She doesn't seem too sold on it. You have those up there. Where is this? Manitoba? You do, huh? Sweet. Yeah. Isn't that something? Oh, we're supposed to talk like a pirate today? I had no idea. Arg. There. Where's me bounty? It's in the kitchen. The paper towel, right? Oh, wait. I can't do this without this. This next news story. It's for my Australian friends.
Crikey! It's news for Australians, mate. Good day. Here's your news. Straight from Australia. We once were a prison colony, and now we done separated into many colonies. I've lost my accent. Crikey! Those look mountainous. Wow! You'll have to learn not only to drive on the wrong side of the road, but upside down. Bonza!
I don't know. Maybe I have to re-edit that. It's still got that sound that I recorded it in a bathroom, which is I did. That's why it has that echo. But yeah, so that's the news in Australia. If you didn't reason, I don't know how many we're up to, but reasons not to go to Australia. No offense to my fans that are in Australia, but you've got so many not only things that'll kill you, but just all in out creepy things. Like I don't think it actually comes with the music. Hopefully it does. You imagine if that thing walked around with this music. What the heck is that? Stop it already. No bueno, as Stephen would say. That is just, is it real? Are you saying this is AI? Who can even tell anymore? You know what? I'll leave it up to my Australian friends. Write to me and tell me if this is a real creature, because yikes, that's enough already with this. Let's see. What's this? Oh, and just so you know, they took your job. This is this is where is this place? Albania? No, Albania. Albania. Genie. Albania. They have their first AI cabinet minister.
Kushtetuese nga që nuk jam njeri. Kjo më ka lënduar. Jo për vete, po për 907.
So who's running it, right? If it's AI, someone has to like tell it what. I mean, it's going to make decisions and stuff. I don't quite understand this. I mean, I think we already have it now with holograms and stuff that we've been dealing with. But here they just blatantly tell you this is AI. So, yeah. So I don't know. Supposedly this is what's going on in Albania. I don't know. I only report on these things. I verify what I can. Just like this. Tell me exactly what's going on with this guy's fingers. Oh, we can't do that. That's a Queen song. But come on, this is what is happening? It's like someone's blowing him up in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Remember that gal that she turns into a blueberry? It's like his hand is my gosh. My goodness. What is that? But it's okay because don't forget, he's part of the Immortals, right? Anybody remember this when he just nonchalantly was excited to tell his bloodline?
The genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler, you see. So I do have a bit of a stake in the country.
And he does the steak joke too. So yeah, so he says he's part of the Vlad the Impaler bloodline. What could possibly go wrong? We need Keanu Reeves to come in here and take this guy out to dinner. Shoot, I don't want to say anything scary there anymore. Look at this. Trump is getting rid of the New World Order by infiltrating them at Windsor Castle. See, these are all the people that are going to help you and will take care of your future. There's the CEO from OpenAI and from Blackstone. And what do we got here? ARM. I'm not even sure what that is. Probably Barclays. Who else was into Microsoft, of course, because you know how much Trump loves them. And Salesforce and Apple. There's Tim Cook sitting there. And Nvidia. And Rupert Murdoch. I didn't even know he was still alive. And so these are all the people that got together this last week to discuss what they want to do to the world. And Trump's there to save us, right? He's there to save us. That's what it is. I mean, look at that. It says all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Look at that. It's shocking to me. With all the stuff going on in the world, all over the world hunger and infrastructure's falling apart. And we still accept this. Oh, well, they need to do this. It's royalty and it's our president. And why have we put up with this? We hire these people into these jobs. At least, we pretend that we do that. And then they do this. I was listening to Connor's video Wednesday, and another good one, by the way. And he was saying, like, if anybody in a company, like, for instance, Trump got hired in, and then a whole bunch of things kind of went to crap, and he went golfing. Like, and I'm not saying it's just him. All the presidents do it. But, like, if you or I did that, you'd be fired, right? You get hired somewhere, and then everything falls to crap, and then you go, I'm going to go golf. We just put up with it, though. That's the way it's always been. Look at the Vatican and how much the gold and everything they own there. I mean, they own everything. And there's still people in poverty and stuff. They're going to help the poor. Yeah. I mean, look at this. I think this was my favorite picture of the evening, though. That's a good one. That one's real. There's another one of Trump eating spaghetti, which is really funny, but that one didn't happen. But this one happened. And that could be why Melania is walking around like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I mean, what is going on? I don't even understand this. Everywhere she went, you couldn't see her. I mean, the conspiracy people could say, oh, well, that's because there's a double in there. It's not really her, because it could have really been anyone. So I don't know. I'll have more coffee when you get a chance. What's this? Oh, and this one I thought was great. Just 11 months ago, this man was working at McDonald's and side job was a garbage man. And now he's riding with the King of England into an actual castle. See, never give up on your dreams. Just remember that, kids. The more you know. Where is it? All right. And then I thought this was interesting. I didn't know about this. There's a famous artist and a famous painting, Charles de la Chaux, 1800s, and it's the Trump airship painting. And they call it the Trump train. And again, I haven't researched how deep this goes as to why it even says this on this painting, but somebody made the comment, or they made the connection. Instead of just looking at this as a train, if you take out this middle section right here that it says Trump under, It's very similar to this, don't you think? And it's even got the little guy in the window. Thanks, honey. I thought you were bring that. You did. Of course you did. Why was I even questioning you? Thank you so much. Love you. Okay. More coffee. So isn't that something? Yeah. Because we all have heard about the what do you call that? Baron von Trump's and the adventures of Baron Munchkins. I don't know. It's the time travel, all that stuff. But this one I hadn't seen before. So this one was new to me anyways. And if you wait long enough, it always happens. I mean, probably you can find it. The Simpsons did it, right? And the man of peace, the guy that said that he was going to end the all wars, and he was going to end the one that what is it, the Ukraine one, I think he was talking about, when in 24 hours or whatever. He now is saying that he wants to put our troops back in Afghanistan if they weren't traumatized enough. So so now we're going back. So yeah, hopefully people start seeing that none of these people are on our side. Some of them talk good and some of them talk bad, or whatever side you're on. But once you choose a side, you're just choosing who your favorite handler is at this point, because they're doing whatever they want, wherever it goes. So, and then you got people like Tony Blair. Yeah, and he says they need a digital ID to see who has the, who got it and who didn't. Because why? Why are we doing this? What does it matter to him? Why does it have to? Why do we have to have that? Interesting. And then, of course, there's this, because of all the stuff going on. This showed up. The Carolinas game or whatever. They had snipers up on the roof. So you got that going on. Pretty soon, I guess we'll see Bane show up. But yeah, they were closer to the sniper than they were the game. Kind of funny. So there's that. So that's going on. But well, the reason I have the shirt on is that normal's not coming back is because it never does. I told you about the phones and they've changed, and that it's not going to come back. Sitting in front of the TV waiting for your favorite show to come on, you had to be at home at that exact moment and watch it. And if you didn't watch it, you missed it. You wouldn't see that episode. You'd have to ask people what happened. That's what happened. And if you caught it during the summer, which most people weren't watching TV, you never knew when they were going to rerun it. But there was no taping shows or re-airing shows or binge watching. You had to wait every single week for the next episode of whatever it was. And after that thing that happened September, not this year, but September in, what was it, 2001? We had the Patriot Act, right? And so, and again, this is why I say that they're not working for us. They're all against us. It's not left versus right. It's not Christian versus this faith or that. All it is this. It's these people, and who are these people? Whoever writes all these rules and regulations and things that we supposedly have to follow our lives, they're the ones that are doing this to us. It's not your neighbors and your relatives. It's not. But they're very successful at getting us to fight with each other. And so I'm going to talk about the event that went down this year in September and in Utah, and where I feel what the fallout is from it. And so let's continue to get all these people off this. And it's funny, this, I don't know if it was this picture, it was one of these where they had one of these group shots, and all the people that especially supposedly hated each other, they're all like playing nice and smiling and stuff. And that's one of the things that really got us waking up. Oh, look at that. They got two twin towers behind them too. That's funny. What is that? Huh. It almost looks like the one they put in place of the twin towers, but then just put two of them. Is that interesting? All right, enough of that. Get them off the screen. And look, I'm going to discuss some certain things, but there's no coincidences. And so This is Congress or the House, one of these. That's what it looks like. I didn't put this meme together, but that's what it actually looks like. Did you know that 250, I have their picture right here, 250 state legislators went over to Israel to stand in front of this 50 states, that's us, the United States, one Israel. And it's in the red, white, and blue. And again, I've covered this many times. Do the research. David never had a star. This is resemblant of the Star of Remphan. And you need to read the Bible and you can see who that represents. Okay? It's pretty amazing that a book that a lot of people tell you that they don't want you to read, called this out thousands of years ago. But he said that you're going to see this sign. And so we sent 250 of our U.S. delegates over there at a cost of no public figure has been disclosed. But on prior trips, say it costs at least $10 million in total. So that's our tax dollars that they take from us as we have trouble making our house payments and putting food on our table, and they're giving it to these guys. What's that? Yeah. Yep. She says, yep. Where's my guy?
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's it. I'm not going to, what do you call it, Connor? Antiseptic? Antiseptic. This isn't an antiseptic. This is what they've been calling the Great Noticing. And you have to understand, I was born and raised Jewish. I have the yarmulke and the talit to prove it. I had a bar mitzvah. I studied the Torah. I had to learn Hebrew. I hated it, but I had to learn it. I had to go to school. Then I had to go to after school 3 times a week and learn another language so I could stand in front of a bunch of people I've never met. The one nice thing is they give you money. I don't know if they still do that. I would think so. And I had to read from this Torah. And when they taught it to me, they had vowels. And when they put it in front of me, it has no vowels. It's not easy to do, especially when you're 13. You don't want to. And then I went through several years where we would do the high holy days, like the ones coming up, the ones that everyone think they're being raptured on. We do the high holy days, the Rosh Hashanah, the Yom Kippur, Passover is always good because there's food around that one. That was fun. And then we kind of just like stopped going. There was some really troubling things that happened to my family. And so my parents stopped taking us. And then I kind of just grew up spiritual in my heart, but not affiliated with any kind of religion. And it's not until whatever I started realizing the whole world has been lying to me about everything. And that's when I started getting into my spirituality again. And the one thing they told me not to look at was the Bible. And so, of course, I started reading it because I don't like being told what to do. Ask my wife and my mother even. And so anyways, I started my spiritual journey. And so I'm going to go over as to who actually is Israel and who actually is a Jew. And I can say that because I have the card, because I have the bar mitzvah to prove it, and 2 Jewish parents. So there. Although I went to the bank and asked if I can get a loan, and they didn't know what I was talking about. Yes, Pearl, I'm a rebel, damn it. I'm a rebel. You're scared of gefilte fish? Well, you can't get gefilte fish. It's gross. If you're going to eat it, did the whitefish and pike, Rose. Now I'm sounding really Jewish. See, we can Jew out together. We're not going to tonight. Maybe a little. Oy. Okay. And where are we at here? Although I do make the best homemade chopped liver you've ever had. My grandmother's recipe. But I digress. So you got these people on your tax dollars going over there, having a good old time, pledging allegiance to whoever's paying them. And you got this guy over here I found out, I think it didn't pass, but this guy, Mark Rubio, I think is his name, Senator Marco. Yeah. He put into place, he wanted to revoke the passports of U.S. citizens if they criticized Israel. Now, explain this to me. And I think it's Florida now. You can get a license plate with the flag of Israel on it. And I don't know, like, could you do that with any country? Am I allowed to get a license plate with Palestine's flag on it, or China, right? Or Russia? Are we allowed to do that? Or is it only this one? You know? And so this guy was like, hey, you criticize this other country, we're going to take your passport. But if we live in the land, if we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave and the free speech, I mean, Trump, when he came in, let's say I got one of them over here, one of these tabs. He even said he's going to make sure we never get rid of it. Where is it? It's one of these. Hang on a second. That's why I try not to do these out of order. Do an Irish flag. Right. Yeah, look at this. I will sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America. That's what he said in his inauguration speech. It's right here.
After years and years of...
I don't want to listen right now, but that's what he said. So if we have free speech, supposedly, allegedly, but we can't talk about this place, it's not even our country. What? Does anyone understand that? It's not even our country, and they want to. I mean, I don't know if he'll try it again to take away your passport. You know, Trump did pass an executive order the first time he was in office that said you can't speak negative about that country. Also, people don't seem to remember that. They just remember the things he says that they want. He says, oh, I'm going to get rid of the IRS. And everyone goes, yeah, that's why I voted for him. And then meanwhile, he says to Pam Bondi, there's some people at a restaurant that heckled me. Will you look into them? I mean, we have to understand, we shouldn't accept this, no matter if we're for Trump or against him or whatever. It's just chipping away. I watch auditors, and I have a few that I know. I mean, we don't hang out, but I've interviewed them and stuff. And Finn sometimes is here watching the show. And Rice Krispies, his channel. And Rogue Nation's another one. Mass Accountability. I don't know. I'll drop all the names. Sam Joaquin. And Anna Banana, I think, is an auditor I just found out. So, and she's in here sometimes. But in any case, I watch them, and they push the envelope to see if our rights are being eroded away. And time again, they prove that the police force, at least, and the government buildings they go to, they're under the impression that they can tell us what to do. And they seem to forget that they're supposed to work for us. We hire them in, and they're not supposed to treat us like crap. And so they're proving that time and time again that that's not the way it's working. And so our rights are being eroded minute by minute. And Trump will go on there and say, I promise to never have those taken away. But then in the next moment, tell Pam Bondi to go look in. Like, I don't know what you want to believe in the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, but supposedly the government got and said that they put pressure on the networks or whoever the affiliates to cancel him. I don't know what the whole story is. We might not ever know that one either. But there is that other one they just did where, what was it? The Office store, Office Max or Office, I think it was them, one of those office supply stores. They wouldn't print a poster of Charlie Kirk for, what do you call it? Funeral service or one of those things that they were having. Excuse me? Vigil is the word we were looking for. If you had vigil. Thank you, hon. And so, of course, they became a whole brouhaha, and those two people got fired. And, that is the company, their decision, and they fired them. And then Pam Bondi goes, and we're then going to look into potentially doing more charges? Like, why are they even involved in a private business? It doesn't make any sense, And then you can go all the way back to the people that didn't want to make a cake because they didn't believe in gay marriage, and they got roasted all over the internet, and their business suffered. But the same people that were cheering those people on are now saying we need to get the people fired at Office Depot or whatever it was. See? God calls it out. It's called hypocrisy. What's that? Yeah, you get it? That's the silent wife down there. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah. All right. I mean, look at this. These are the people in charge of us.
Prime Minister.
What are these things?
It's,
No, again, I've been Jewish my whole life. I've never seen this thing. What is he wearing? What is he wearing? Are they getting married?
A moving moment to have you here with your ambassador, your staff, your delegation, our foreign minister, deputy foreign minister. And
if I put this on, people that think I'm crazy would think I'm even crazier. I mean, come on. Imagine walking around with this thing. What is it for?
all the friends who've gathered here at this.
Yeah, it's a ritual
moment.
of some kind, right?
First of all, only one time you can be seventh.
Anyways, I just couldn't get over. I have somebody. I'll look it up and let me know what are these things supposed to represent. Because the Christmas tree shirt. Yeah, maybe it's part of the ugly sweaters from they're showing each other. So a Jewish Hawaiian lace, says Pearl Genie. That's funny. So, but yeah, it's very, very, very weird, odd. And that's a good question. Someone just said, "Where's his tiny hat? Does he not wear one?" I never thought of that. So, okay. What's next? And that's another thing, by the way, just for those of you keeping track. God says in the Bible that for men to not put anything over their head. And then when you have to go into temple, they don't let you in until you put a thing over your head. They're not reading it correctly. I don't think so. What is this? Let's see. I forget.
How fucked up.
Oh, sorry about the F word. What is this?
So I'm sure you guys see
this
textbook.
This is
this logo.
Because don't forget, like I've talked about this, the indoctrination that's happened in our society still continues to this day.
Textbook. McGraw-Hill, they own most textbooks in America. And the owner of these textbooks is Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell is the father of Ghislaine Maxwell.
You heard that name before, right?
I'm sure you heard this name.
Yes, I just said that.
Ghislaine Maxwell is Jeffrey Epstein's fucking wife.
Well, I don't know if she's married to him, but she's his partner.
Let's go back. Jeffrey.
So isn't that interesting? So the people that own the textbooks that go into your school are connected to the same people that we keep talking about, right? So interesting. And again, why did she even go to jail if they've proven that she trafficked no one to nobody, right? Yeah, the plot thickens. Ain't buying it. I know. I said to my wife that I've done 3 Yellowstones. I think it's time to do a 4th, but I'm not even sure what I can. I don't know. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, Val, are we still talking about this? Didn't the president say that like how many months ago? So, yeah. And then, of course, with all the stuff going on in Ohio, they went ahead and passed on the floor that they're not going to talk about it anymore, right? And, yeah, there you go, Marcus. Yeah, see, then the same day. I'm sorry? Oh, sorry, Utah. Okay. And this is the actual area. At least it was. It's been completely revamped now. Again, I'm not saying it looks like a menorah. You said it. But he was sitting right here in this area at the top. And has everyone in the audience, let me know, has everyone done their I didn't kill Charlie Kirk video yet? Because if you haven't, I think we're supposed to, because Netanyahu did a 2-minute video saying he didn't do it.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder.
Okay, he's fighting wars. He's hosting leaders of other countries. He's got a lot on his plate. but he took the time out to do a 2-minute video to say, I didn't do it. Nothing weird there, right? Nothing to see there. Oh, shoot. Yeah. And I want to take the moment here to explain my whole feelings about this country, this flag, and the people that live there. The one on the screen. So there's a couple things that I've discussed. Well, here, I should just take him off. Who needs him space on there? It's time to get real. It's time to get ready to get real.
Get ready. So get set. So hang on.
We're not doing that again. Oh, okay. So you've got a country that's Mac TV. God bless you. What is it? They saw something show up here. There you go. Look at that. Peace and blessings. Good to see you, Mac. It's been a while. What is that? Is that you as a football player, or is that your favorite team? It's hard to tell. But thank you. God bless you. It's good seeing you. Where was I? But I digress. Oh, okay. So you got two things going on here. One is when you read the Bible and it goes through lineage. See, and I started doing a whole show on this, and I made some videos on it. And I got to tell you, I showed something to my wife the other day I was thinking about doing. And then when I started looking at logistics of doing it, I just scrapped the idea. And I can't tell you how many of those I've scrapped. Every once in a while, I'll actually shoot one and then still never play it. And so I still have this one I haven't played. But I play a couple of parts in it. It's hilarious. But if you read the Bible, it teaches you who came from who. This person begot that person. This person begot that person. But the lineage is always attached to the male side of the lineage. You know, it always talks about who Adam then had, and or Seth, and then who it goes that way. It goes down the line till you get to David, and eventually you go through and you get to Jesus. But it always stays with the male side of it. But the Jewish teachings, they always teach that it's the mom. If your mom is Jewish, then you're Jewish. And so that flipped somewhere along the line. I kind of have my ideas as to when, but it's hard to say. So right off the bat, I pose this. There's a whole bunch of people that think they're Jewish, and by technicality, they're supposed to not be. Because if your father wasn't, then you really weren't, supposedly. It's just interesting that they follow the lineage of the man in the Bible, and they follow the lineage of the woman in Judaism. So that's the first thing. The second thing is there has been many times that God has chosen certain people and given them something. We talk about the chosen people, that they were given that land, supposedly, allegedly, they were given it, and it's theirs. It's their inheritance. Okay, that happens in the Old Testament. But there's also times you can look at, say, Nebuchadnezzar, and he got his kingdom taken away, gets it restored, but he got it taken away. King David, he blew up the kingdoms because he had wandering eyes, and he sent a guy to death to steal his wife. So and he's one of God's favorites, and he had flaws. And then there's so many stories of people that had things and then were taken away. There's that wonderful story of the guy, he works so hard, he's all by himself. He fills up not just one of his silos with whatever food, I forget, but he does multiple ones, and he rests his feet and figures he doesn't have to work anymore. And so God takes it away, not because he's cruel, because he wants him to understand that that's not why he gives you these gifts and things. You're supposed to share it. You're also supposed to be that shining light and show people what happens when you have the Spirit of God in you. God bless you. Look at this. Alfredo, thank you so much. Thank you. Look at that. And so that's the thing. You're given things, like he even has a thing where he has a story about some guys that were given some coins, and one guy invests it and doubles it, another guy trades and he gets more, and one guy just buries it and goes, here's your coins. And so he takes his away because he didn't do anything with it. And he talks in parables, and basically it's saying that you're given these, your eyes are open and you're given these blessings because it's by God's grace anybody gets blessings. You can ask for him, and he does it. But then what do you do with that? If you're just gonna miser it away and not in some way preach like I'm doing, you don't have to do a channel. Trust me, it's not easy. When you find out that people, I talk to a camera, I only see me. It says there's good night. The Jeannie, there's 176 people here. And thank you all for being here. And most of the time I just think that it's people that I don't really know and never see. But then every once in a while, it's somebody that actually knows me. And it kind of shocks me a bit, because I know I say things on here that not everyone agrees with. But I do appreciate the people that know me in real life and will still tune in, hear what I have to say, and still love me, still talk to me later. Because that's the way it always used to be. You could have a difference of opinion and you could still have a relationship. It didn't matter. There were people that were married that one would vote for a Republican, one would vote Democrat or independent. It used to be that way, not anymore. And normal's not coming back. It just isn't. And so the fact that they're taking it to this level that you can't even have another thought, and it's okay for someone to take you out. And we'll get into what happened there that day. But just the idea that that's acceptable now, it's a shocking time that we're in. It really is. Oh, I love you too. Why are you all saying that? Thank you. So yeah, and yes, please. I don't know. It'd be cool, but we'll see. Guys got to eat. That you're stealing that from Connor. So, but yeah, and so what was I saying? Oh, so there's many times throughout the scriptures where people were given things and then God takes them away. He warns you. And so he's got this story, and it's about a guy that owns a wine field, winery. And it's funny because I've said this before. I would love to have been able to hang out and talk with Jesus. I mean, what an incredible moment that'd be. But at the same time, I would think at some level it's got to be exasperating, Be like, hey, Jesus, can you give me a ride home? And he'd be like, let me tell you a story about a guy who asked for a ride. And it just goes on like, okay, yeah, And so can I get a ride? Let me tell you another story about someone that wanted to, and it goes on from there. And so he's got this story that he throws out there to who? The Pharisees and the high priests. Okay. Now don't forget, where is he talking? He's talking in Israel to the chosen ones, right? Because that's what they call themselves. They've been the special children ever since the Old Testament. Moses walked them through the deserts, and eventually they ended up in the promised land, right? And here we are. That's where we are. But then Jesus comes along, and he tells this parable to the high priest, the Jews in the temples, and the scribes, Pharisees. That's who he's talking to. And he tells them this story about a guy that had a vineyard, and he went away and he put people in charge of it. He then sends some people back to collect, I don't know, the money or something from the vineyard. And they beat them, stone them. I think they kill at least one of them or more. And he does this a couple of times. And then he says, fine, I'll send my son. They'll listen to him. And he sends his son, and his son goes, and they go, look, it's the heir. Now we can kill him, and we can steal the inheritance for ourselves. And that's what they do. And so then Jesus asked the scribes and the Pharisees and says, okay, so here, I think I have it. Let me grab it here. Let's see. Whoops. That was the wrong button. Clickety click. No, we're getting there. You'll see in a minute here. You'll understand. Okay. And this is in Matthew. Where are we at? Matthew 21. And of course, we started verse 33. Giggity. Here another parable. Okay. So this is it. So that's what I just told you. And yeah, they beat one, killed one, stoned one. He sent more servants. They did to them likewise. He sent his son. They'll reverence my son. But when they saw him, they said, the heirs come, will kill him and seize the inheritance. And they cast him and slew him. And then, therefore, when the Lord of the vineyard comes, what does he do to those husbandmen? And they preach there, tell him, they say unto him, he will miserably destroy those wicked men and let out his vineyard unto other husbandmen, which shall render the fruits in their seasons. So Jesus said to them, did ye never read in the scripture, the stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing. It's marvelous in our eyes. Now check this out. Therefore I say unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you and given to a nation, bringing forth the fruits thereof. So, of course, they didn't like it when they heard it. They wanted to lay hands on him and kill him. But they didn't, because they took him as a prophet. He's saying right here, the kingdom of God shall be taken away from you. Well, who's you? He's talking to the chief priests and the Pharisees of Israel in the temple. Mic drop. Thank you. Because that's what he's saying. He's saying the special children weren't listening to me, to the point where they actually killed. See the parable, how it connects? Jesus is actually telling them, predicting what's going to happen to him, letting them know in the future that they're going to do this by telling them this story. See, that's why he talks in these parables. Those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. They didn't want to hear it. They wanted to kill him because they must have figured out he was talking about them. I mean, just the fact that they want to kill him kind of tells you he was talking about them, right? And so the kingdom of God shall be taken from you. Now, God doesn't make mistakes. He said that. So then you get to the 1940s. When the Bible talks about the children of Israel, they mean Jacob, because that's his name that God changed it to, Israel, the children of Israel. They were originally called Hebrews in Abraham's time. But the country, the state, whatever the province, whatever you want to call this, of Israel, did not exist in biblical days. Yeah, maybe that land was promised to them, wherever that is. Let's say it's that area that they're all fighting over. But it was also told that it was taken away because they don't listen and they killed his only son. And I'm not someone that agrees with what happened there. And again, born and raised Jewish, I was always kind of fighting, saying, no, we didn't do that. I mean, I didn't. I wasn't there. But the people that were in charge there offered Jesus up for sacrifice. You could say it was Pontius Pilate, but what did he do? That's where you get that whole washing your hands of the deal. He's like, I see no ill in or guile or whatever in this man. I can't do it. But if you want it and you want to release, what is it, Barabbas or whatever, the thief or murderer, wherever he was, I'll do what you say, but I wash my hands of this. So if the Roman guy, yeah, he's culpable. He could have made the choice, I guess. But maybe they put him up next. Who knows? It's a huge crowd. And you know what happens when you get into a huge crowd? You get this action going on. Where is it? Groupthink. Optic form with the consensus view rather than engage in critical thinking. Right? So that's what's happening. It's democracy. Is that what you said? Exactly. It was a slave to Caesar, Jackie. Exactly. So So when I tell you there is no Star of David, God says that the kingdom will be taken from the people of Israel at that time. And then you could say it was the Rothschilds or whatever, but the state that we call Israel wasn't formed until the 40s, right? I think I've got my math there, right? Had nothing to do with what the Bible talks about, other than the special people were given that land, but he also took it away. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, although that one's been changed. But in any case, that's what Job used to say. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. He can do whatever he wants. It's his. And that's not bad. We just need to understand who God is and how he works. And he warned us in these times that there were people that would show up and say they were the special people. So I don't think Moses would have to do a 2-minute video about how he didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Just saying. But that's just me. So there we go. So there's some your scripture for you. And you stayed around, so thank you all. We'll throw a little bit more in there. This is just a complete coincidence. This is that billionaire guy that Trump says is going to be one of his best buddies, I guess, this term. I didn't create this. I've just shown it. Yeah, many false Christs. That's actually on this little thing here. Right. There shall arise false Christs, false prophets, show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they will deceive the very elect. Right? We're seeing that now. Seeing that now. So yeah, so there's Peter Thiel. Because don't they say you take what is it, Neil Armstrong? I think that's the one. And is it Neil Armstrong? Yeah, it spells out alien, right? It's Neil Armstrong. You go backwards from the A, it spells out alien. But that's just another coincidence. Did you know that one on? Oh, I got a new one for you. Where's my thing? It's probably going to echo, but I don't care. So, all right. And this, I watch these movies, and whenever they want to like go on the run, they take their phone, they crack it open, they throw the battery out, they take out the chip. Phones now no longer have at least most of them, I think, don't have a chip anymore. It's embedded. The battery is now embedded, so you can't turn them off permanently or do any of that stuff. And so then they always, what do? They crack them and they break them. And I just saw this and I started laughing, thinking, can you imagine me like, okay, now just, we got to get on the run. Break your phone. Look at what's going on with these new phones. I'll be right there. What are you doing? I'm breaking my phone. What's that? Yeah, I mean, for those of us that drop our phones, but isn't that funny? And Marcus, you said about a hammer, but he used one. He said it before he did it. I guess you can throw it in water, but I don't know. But sometimes they can fix it. There was a snap at the end. But I mean, how much pressure did you put on that? So can you imagine if you're out there in the wilderness like they always are? Good luck. So throw it in the river, I guess. You need to get rid of it. All right, what's next? And it doesn't matter if you have your phone on you or not. You know, they track us by our phones. But even if you don't have your phone now, I've discussed this. We showed last week. I forget, it was Harvard or Stanford or one of those Ivy League ones. And they came up with some glasses that, like in the Terminator, would show the person and it would feed it to a friend of theirs on a computer, and they go through and they pull up all their information. Excuse me. And then they could talk to the person like they knew, like they knew him. You know, aren't you so-and-so that does this kind of work here? And that, you know, and they're like, wow, how did you know that? And so that was just like one level of it. The Google glasses. But now there's this. I don't know who this group is, but they use live facial recognition and facial tracking, and everyone eats it up. I don't know if there's any copyrights on this music, but so you're at a concert and they put the stuff behind you, and all of a sudden, boom, there's your face with your name. I think they blurred out the names, but and everyone's cheering like it's the coolest thing ever. That's what I'm saying. I've said this for, I think, since I started this channel. Whoever's in charge of this world, and I'm not making, this is not a racial thing. I'm just saying whoever's in charge of this world, they're actually very cheap. And the reason I say this is the takeover that everyone's afraid of, the George Orwell 1984 thing and all that, it's being paid for by us, right? Everybody got the Ring camera. Everybody bought the newest phone. Everyone got the, whatever. And we're excited that our face is up on the screen. But this is the facial recognition the social credit score gets connected to that they supposedly doing with China, right? And they have it all right now. It's online. They slowly roll it out and let you know, so that you think that they're slowly revealing this stuff, but it's going on right now. It's happening all over, and the fact that they had that thing where everyone was putting stuff over their faces for a couple of years, that just made the facial recognition be able to track you with just trying to do it with the top of your head and your eyes. So it got smarter, because this is all running through AI and quantum computers and whatever. But yeah, so coming soon to a concert near you. I don't know. It's like we started with the Coldplay one where the CEO was banging the gal from the human resources, and now it's everyone up on the screen. What? Did I say that rudely? Having consensual affair with enough. All right, let's move on. Okay, only 90 tabs to go, I think. All right, then here we got now Mark Zuckerberg. Here's his thing. Everything that's in your phone now is in your glasses. You're playing music, so I'm going to kill that now. But yeah, so you can listen to his music, wear his glasses, fist bump his random people. All right, where's he going now? And you got text messages coming in. You don't even have to wear the watches anymore or any of that stuff. You just put on the glasses, and eventually they'll just get it to contact lens, I'm sure. And then after that, like probably some Elon Musk eyeball implant. But yeah. Is he changing the songs? Yeah, I guess so. So where's he go? All right. Goes down the hallway and fist bumps everyone. But yeah, so you get all of it. You can get your email, you probably get the weather, you get whatever you want. And people are just loving it. Right? And we're going to pay for this stuff. I mean, not necessarily everyone listening here, but people are going to buy this stuff, and they're going to want the newest technology. And eventually they're going to probably want the brain chip from Chip Daddy, right? Meanwhile, the same people that teach us that dinosaurs, this is an x-ray of a beaver's tail. So if the beaver was gone and we saw this tail, I bet you they'd have a monster dinosaur that would connect to this. And do you know, right now, I'll throw something at you maybe you haven't thought of. There's somebody that, I mean, I know it's all made up. Look into dinosaurs. All the fossils in the museums are all plaster Paris castings. And they usually have like one or two bones, and then they create the whole dinosaur. They tell you what color it was. They tell you its feeding habits, its mating habits, its if it had feathers or not. And there's a guy right now that are multiple people that come up with the noises from an animal that they've never heard. Think about that. I mean, Jurassic Park, we all think a T-Rex now sounds like theirs, but throughout history, whatever the noise they make for an animal, for a dinosaur, some guy just made it up along with everything else with dinosaurs, because that's part of the narrative. They want you to think that we're billions of years old. The last week I just told you, they said that life on Earth actually came from outer space. So there's that going for us. And they want to keep the dinosaur narrative going. So you don't realize that we're a localized, stationary Earth with a protection over us. And God's right here. So they keep it alive through dinosaurs and space and all that other stuff. And they show you a globe where they tell you that if you're here, it's 21 hours difference than if you're here. Make that make sense. And let's see. Yeah, we'll keep going with this. Someone brought up, I think I did, was it last week or the week before? Oh, there's Anna Banana. I think you're an auditor. Let me know. I think I saw one of your things there. So, someone's asking or bringing up in the comments about the ocean I brought up and said that we really haven't looked into very much of the ocean. It was, very small percentage that we've actually looked into. And there was some back and forth between it, but there's still so much about the ocean that we don't know and explored, including whatever this disgusting creature. Why are we looking for aliens? This looks like an alien head creature, fish monster. Like, what is this thing? No bueno. Kill it with fire. Yeah. So, and again, God tells you that there's stuff hidden in the ocean. That's in Job. Excuse me. Let me grab that. Let's see. Job, dead things in. Uh-oh. See, I shouldn't have tried to open another tab. I got to get rid of some tabs. Google not responding. There we go. Ocean. 26.5. Do. So where does it go? Yeah, here we go. Clickety click. Here. Dead things are formed from under the waters, and the inhabitants thereof. So what's down there? Who's down there? God says there's stuff down there. I mean, besides these, whatever this head fish creature is, there's other stuff down there. There's actual, and because science and math had shut up and try to explain it to me, they've actually found lake. I think they're fresh water even at the bottom of the ocean. They're finding water in the water. See that? There's multiple areas you can find this. There's water at the bottom of the ocean in the water. Make that make sense. There's so much about the ocean that we don't understand. And then there's this. See, Representative Tim Burchett, he knows what's up.
What if these are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago.
Isn't that like the Transformer movie?
They're in these deep water areas, and that's why. I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. And we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so, to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that
Yeah.
we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean,
And he's talking like a conspiracy theorist, and he's in Congress. So, like, again, the world is changing. What used to be normal, or what used to not be normal, is being normal, and what used to not be normal is not. I don't know. I got confused in what I was trying to say there, but here he is walking around saying what God just said. There's inhabitants under the ocean, and with dead things. So you really, no bueno. Does he walk really weird? But yeah. So there's that. And then there's this gal.
The CIA ran a bunch of experiments and research on marine mammal consciousness and its potential for human connection right before they made it illegal to deliberately communicate with any kind of marine mammal life under the MMPA. And this is because the CIA is hiding the fact that there are aliens at the bottom of the ocean, and the dolphins that aren't able to be brainwashed the same way that humans are would definitely expose this secret to us. Who said that?
I don't know. I just present the discussions. You go do your own research on all these things. But it's interesting. I did look up. There is a law in place that you're not allowed to interact with dolphins. I'm not saying that it's because they would tell us that the aliens are actually the demons, the fallen ones that are down there. She did, but I'm not saying it. Who said that? I don't know who said that, Karos. Groot. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on the water, but we know very little about it. I know that. We might have mapped stuff, but even within the mapping, we don't know what's going on down there. But there is the book of Enoch, the first book, which I believe it's quoted by Jesus. So I've read it. And he talks about the approximately 200 angels that fell from heaven. And I've discussed this on the channel before. This is the 200 leaders of the world's religion. There are 190 confirmed impact craters. They call them meteor craters. But if they come straight down, not at a vertical or like at a side smash into the earth, just like the moon, they're straight down circles. And the fact that there most likely is 200 of those, and there was 200 fallen angels. And I believe, as God told me, that there's a firmament that would keep anything, waters above or below, but anything from reaching us. So they're not asteroids or meteors that came crashing down and killed the dinosaurs. I believe those are where most likely the fallen angels hit the earth. I mean, that makes sense to me. So can I prove anything I'm saying? No, but can't prove what they're saying either. So there's that. And for those of you that believe in evolution, I don't know. This looks like animal cruelty, but I just thought, okay, so if we believe in evolution, at some period in our evolution, that's what a human woman would look like, right? Because we started as primordial soup from space now, by the way, don't forget that. So space goop showed up here and turned into underwater creatures. And then some of those, oh God, we're going in for a kiss. And some of those underwater creatures got legs, crawled out of the ocean or wherever they were, right? And all the food they ever knew was behind them, but they're like, screw this. We're going to figure it out on land. And they figured it out on land. And then they split because some of them said, you know what? I'm done with this. I hate it here. I'm going back. And so that's how you get mammals. And they turn around and they go back in evolution, but they don't devolve. They evolve and they turn into whales and dolphins, right? That's how you get I didn't make it up. They did. That's how you get those. And then eventually some monkeys decided they wanted to evolve and become human, and others just stayed as pretty monkeys. Because there's a lot of monkeys right now that didn't evolve. I guess that's our stupid ancestors, right? They couldn't figure it out. But that's evolution. Ta-da. What is this? Oh, this was interesting. Because if you do believe whatever you want to call the shape of the earth, for me, it's biblical earth. That's where God says it's most likely circular, stationary on pillars. It's covered by a firmament above and below. Waters above and below are kept out, and maybe that water that we see underwater that looks like lakes and stuff, maybe that's the remnants of where the water actually came in and flooded. I don't know, but interesting idea I just had there. And then you got Antarctica, which, if you believe in this whole ice wall idea, north is the center. Maybe that's where, God's throne is. Maybe that's the Garden of Eden that we're not allowed to go back to. And everything else on the compass, it points south because it's all around you. So you just keep heading south, and depending on which way you're facing. But what's interesting about Antarctica is this.
Of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820, and yet it's on maps drawn in the 1500s with great detail, which again were based on much older source maps that have now been lost to us. The astonishing thing is the so-called Pinkerton world map. It just shows a hole where Antarctica is. A Wolsey-Wooler world map drawn in 1530 or thereabouts, you find Antarctica is present. Orontius Phineas map. That map shows Antarctica exactly where it should be. There's Antarctica at the tip of South America, just south of South Africa.
And what did they call it back then?
Well, they call it the Southern Land. And it's larger than it is today, but it was larger than it is today during the Ice Age. Antarctica was a much bigger. Now, what the fuck is it doing on a map drawn in the 1500s, which we know was based on older source maps when nobody knew it existed in the 1500s? To me, the obvious answer is we are dealing with the fingerprints of a lost civilization.
Yeah. So there. All right. So before we go any further, I happen to see, I don't know who else just strolled in, but Jesus in this season just strolled in. You're extremely tardy, you're very late. You might have to stay after class, but as long as you feel tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
You think Australia's part of it? I don't know. Like, who knows what happened when the Pangea broke up, right? Which I think is when Jesus split all the mountains, but we can continue about that. Yeah, and you can be enemies on everything, but you sign the peace treaty where we don't mess with the penguins, right? You want to see penguins, right? I did have penguins. I thought I had penguins back there. I'll have to find my penguins. They're in my Antarctica video. I went to Antarctica. It's on my channel. You can look for it. But are you feeling tardy? Right, Groot. Exactly. The land of Moo. Oh, you will stay after. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. So where are we at? Yeah, detention is better than suspension. That's true. Although I've always had a problem with that. Like when my kids got, not that they ever did, but they got in trouble for ditching. And the solution the school said was, all right, they're suspended for a week. Whatever. So they didn't want to go to school. And rather than give them more school-like detention, of course, they don't have the resources for that, apparently. So instead of that, they gave them more days off. Like, make that make sense. Yeah, I went with Admiral Byrd. Yeah, right? That's what makes the most sense, I think. And then, of course, what do? They throw it in millions and billions of years ago, like they do everything, just to confuse people. But it's written about it when he does that. So, okay. And they're about to have a solar eclipse. That's cool. So, okay. Where were we? Let's get back into this. Oh my God, there's 183 people here. What's happening? Thank you all for being here. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the show. That would be very much appreciated. Okay. Clickety click. Here, here, and here. So that's interesting. What's this one? Oh, what could possibly go wrong with this? So they make a drone now that looks like a missile. What could possibly go wrong, right? No one would ever think that that's a threat of any kind. Can you imagine that shows up and coming? What's that? Yeah, but still, if you saw that coming at you, I don't know. What did you say? It sounds what? It does sound terrifying. I mean, imagine that coming at you. So now on sale at Amazon. Is that what hit the Pentagon? I don't know, Allison. It was supposed to be a plane, right? Okay. And then this one I'd never heard of. Oh, we're almost in the other story of Utah. But look at this. Have you seen this one, Jeannie? There was a black tornado. Are we allowed to say that? There was a very dark complected tornado. But how weird is this? I never heard of it. What's that? Yeah, it's always Utah. Utah is a weird place. Yeah. Black tornado. So if you had on your bingo card that there'd be a black tornado in Utah, go ahead and check that off. Because I didn't. So locals fled saying they never see anything like it. Yeah, I would too. Feats don't fail me now. All right, what's next? What is this? Oh, okay. So now we'll get into the kind of the meat and potatoes of the whole Utah story. Because I'm getting people still asking me, what do I think happened that day? And so I'm going to go into it. But first off, does anybody realize, maybe it's dark matter, right? Groot and Stephanie. And, okay. Val says we should call it an Afro tornado. I don't know, but it's definitely worth that. Oh, that the head of the FBI wrote 3 children's books about banishing King Donald's enemies from the kingdom.
Agents, you didn't have that, but you did write a picture book trilogy for children ages 5 and up, based on your experience clashing with President Trump's political enemies.
Did you know about this one, hon?
In your book, you describe your literary alter ego, Cash the Knight, as a wacky, easily bored wizard carrying out King Donald's vengeance by
the head of the FBI, the guy that's supposed to be looking for the It is. Look, I don't know who's writing this season of our script. I think it's AI at this point. You don't believe it?
driving his enemies out of the kingdom. In the books, King Donald is besieged by the evil Hillary Queentown.
By Hillary Queentown. Where's my gal?
And so here we are. Here we are.
My 4th season of Yellowstone is this guy's books. See you in Valhalla, says Groot.
But saved in the end by Cash. Then Cash goes on to catch mules who are stealing the 2020 election for the great King Donald from Sleepy Joe. And then in the 3rd book, Cash takes...
When did he have time to write all these? It is real. Look, written by Cash Patel.
Takes down the Dragon of the Jalapenos, nicknamed the DOJ. Your supporters had hoped that you would graduate from imagining yourself a romantic fairy tale knight to actually running America's premier federal law enforcement agency. Alas, just as we've learned how dangerous it is to put a science-denying anti-vaxxer in charge of our public health, we've learned how dangerous it is to name as director of the FBI a man who thinks of himself as a fairy tale knight who keeps a fire-breathing dragon named DOJ at home to forcibly drive villains out of the kingdom.
Oh, geez. I don't even know what to say. Mike almost bought that series. Oh, you want to get some Secret Service hand signals, Adrienne? I have those for you. You want them? I got him. Where is he? This one just came out too. Clickety click. It's one of these. Yeah, here you go. Is this what you were asking for, Adrienne? Check this out. Okay, right there, it tells me he's looking at the camera. He knows there's a camera. I totally believe that they present these things so people like me or others will find them and then showcase them. And then there's discussions about what's real, what's fake, da 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 da. Meanwhile, they keep us in this like monotonous hamster wheel of trying to figure out who's lying about what. This is such a staged thing to me. Look at this. So he got some paper from someone. Well, I think that's a Unforgiven song. We can't play that. So he gets this paper from someone, and it troubles him, and he sighs real heavy, and then he grabs his ear, does the whole Carol Burnett thing. But just in case you didn't see that, he makes sure he takes his glasses off, wipes his hair, grabs his ear again. Are those the signals you were looking for? Yeah, let me grab my earlobe and stare at the camera. Episode Quattro? I might do it just because of that, Val. I might, Jeannie, let's think about that. Episode Quattro. What do we had? We had Yellowstone. We had Yellowstone Part Ducks. And then we had episode Trace, Revenge of the Sith. So maybe Quattro. I'll think about it. But this is so ridiculous, this whole storyline. So while he's writing children's books, this is what I want to talk about. People are asking me what happened in Utah. People are actually arguing over this. And I understand. And I think Connor touched on his show. And, of course, I talked about it a little bit last week. But I'm going to bring it up again. Here's what happened in Utah. Something. And what do I mean by that? An event happened there. Now, there's a bunch of people that say it was all fake. It was all holograms and trapdoors. And I've seen that. I've seen all the videos on the internet. I've seen where things vanish and disappear and chairs go through tables. And it's all out there. I've seen multiple people supposedly be the shooter. I've seen a guy in a brown shirt. I've seen a guy in a white shirt. There's the guy in the white hat that's like doing baseball signs, and the guy standing behind him telling him to steal third base and whatever. I've seen all that. I've seen multiple discussions as far as where the shot came from, if there was one, what happened there. Here's what I can tell you. There was an event. People witnessed what they saw was a person getting shot and killed. And it's very traumatic. And what they saw is most likely not what we're seeing on the internet. Because just like JFK, and to me, it's like arguing JFK at this point. Which, remember, they said they were going to release all the documents on that. Did that ever happen? We didn't really find out any news information. There's still people discussing it. They made fun of it on Seinfeld about the magic bullet and stuff. They've made fun of it throughout. They've done countless movies on it. They still discuss it. And how he was shot, or was he shot, or any of that, the JFK, none of that matters. What matters is what happened, the fallout from it. And just like I used to do a lot of shows with Brian Stavely, and he was the first guy that taught me that the news is lying to me. And he hung out with a bunch of people that discussed what happened in September back in 2001 in New York City. And they were discussing the narrative that they were being lied to about the government's narrative. And he went so far as to say what you saw on the video, he said there was no planes. And he even got tossed out of his group because of that. And so whatever we're seeing on these screens at this point, and trust me, if you haven't seen it, don't. It's extremely graphic. And whatever happened, it's just not good to see that kind of, it's just gross. But the takeaway is this. We changed that day as a populace, as a nation, as a people. We changed that day. Just like happened in 2001, it happened in JFK's time. I mean, I even told someone as an answer when they asked me, our parents saw JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther K, MLK, all get shot, and it freaked them out. That was a very traumatic thing for them. And then we grew up with the things that happened in New York City, which was an extremely traumatic thing. And now I feel this is like this next generation's, and it also was a CA, what is his middle name? I forget, but it's another 3-letter with the K. Anyways, it's their turn to have something traumatic. So I'm not going to argue over what happened, how it happened, what was hologram, what is fake, what is real. I'm not going to argue any of that. I find it pointless because the fallout from it, we're still experiencing. There's been good things and bad things that are coming from it. There's apparently an uptick in people that are finding Christ. God can use any bad thing in a good way. But then there's a lot of people that are fighting over not just the event and what happened exactly, but also the whole free speech thing and what's defined as hate speech now, and how far should you go when you disagree with someone, and the fact that anybody would celebrate this, regardless. Again, I'm not going to argue the event, the fallout from a man that was shot in front of his family and in a whole audience there in a very violent way. If anyone can go on screen and say that they're for that, there's something wrong there. There just is. Because you have to accept the world in the narrative that's being presented to us. A family Christian man got murdered in front of his family. How could you possibly condone that? Or how could you possibly say anything good about that? It's a terrible thing. And take all that out of it. A man that was speaking his mind was silenced by someone that didn't agree. Again, we can't live in that kind of society. And the hypocrisy of the people that wanted to cancel the culture for the people when they didn't like what they were saying about making the birthday cakes and stuff, and then switch sides when it comes to the sign making at Office Depot or whatever. Like, do you see? It's all about just the fallout getting to fight us. And so what I want to discuss is, just like JFK, I only want to discuss the, quote, official narrative. This is the official narrative. This is, I hope Kash Patel's book on the fairy tale that he writes is better than this narrative. Listen to this.
Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on.
Right.
And then he changes clothing on the roof,
of course,
and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here.
I just love zooming in on his face. Okay, so if you're with me so far, as the Eagles say, they're no longer the Eagles, it's just Eagles. If you're with me so far, so he goes up on the roof somehow with his rifle in his pants or whatever, or his backpack, which wouldn't fit, but he gets up there. He has a screwdriver and he assembles it. He changes his clothes, and then he does the thing, and then he gets off of the roof. He disassembles it, puts it somewhere, we're not sure. And then he changes back into the clothing that matched the video. That's what he says here.
The clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU.
So he did that. And then they've linked him to the crime by DNA. So they found a towel with the gun in it, and they found DNA on the towel. They didn't say anything about finding DNA on the rifle. They found it on a towel. And this is what it looked like. So he reassembled it when he stashed it. The problem with that is the other thing that they found DNA on, apparently, was a screwdriver that he used to assemble and disassemble and reassemble this rifle. The problem with that is he left the screwdriver on the roof. So how does he take a disassembled rifle off of the roof, forget the screwdriver, and reassemble it. And in addition to that, I watch a lot. My wife and I love crime shows from England, especially, Endeavor and Veer and all that. They do it right. If there's a shooting, they're taking pictures of everything. They're putting up the police tape. They're cordoning off the area. They get forensics in there. They do the whole thing. They even wear plastic booties on their shoes. So you're telling me that this guy had it in a towel and they didn't show us the picture of that? They've taken it out of the towel and they put it into a box. Did they have the box with them? I guess. But this is the official photo they gave us. Was it next to his passport? I don't know, man. That is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So far we've got a guy. He changed clothes 3 times. He was in clothes. He changed on the roof. And at some point he changed again. And, or 2 times he changed. Well, he got dressed. So 3. And then he assembled the rifle on the roof with the screwdriver that he left on the roof, which they got DNA off of. And then somehow he miraculously reassembled it, wrapped it in a towel, and left it in the ditch area. And they haven't said they got any DNA or fingerprints off of the rifle. So basically all they have matched to is the towel at this point and a screwdriver. So here's the photos. Let me make this larger. That's what she said. He's supposed to have the rifle somewhere. It's either in this backpack, which obviously couldn't fit, or it's running down his leg, they said. But when they catch him walking on the stairs, he doesn't seem to have any problem. So, no idea where it possibly is at this point. I asked AI, can you assemble a 30-06 caliber Mauser bullet action rifle, no tools, yes or no? And the answer was no. So there's that. This is the official story. Then who's this guy? I think he cusses a little. He'll be okay.
Oh, this giant thing that's wrapped in a towel? It's a pool cue, a guitar science project. It's a psychological operation to see if people really believe what the FBI say, but it's definitely not a rifle. Do they really think that we're that fucking stupid? There's gonna be no videos of this guy walking around with this in a towel or in a backpack that doesn't fit or down his fucking pant leg. This is my shortest rifle, okay? We're not fucking stupid.
Or are we? Are you trying to sneak by? Dang. I was going to catch her. Maybe you'll catch her. She came back down. Kitty! And this happened. Now, do you know who this is? This is Luigi Mangione. And this was after he had done the pow pow to the CEO of a healthcare company, which I have not found anyone that remembers the name of the CEO that he allegedly took out and not to lunge. But they remember this guy's name. And then they passed some healthcare bill and they named it after this guy, not the CEO that got killed. Does that make any sense? I mean, why not have a Charles Manson bill or something? You know what I mean? Makes no sense. But this was him after he did his little whatever he did. He decided that everyone's looking for him. He'll take time to go to McDonald's and sit there and stare at the camera and let everyone notice him, right? Well, there's nothing new under the sun. Here's our current. There's no new thing. Yeah, that's true. That changed. You're right. Here's our current villain. Everyone's looking for him. He's changed his clothes. He's dumped a rifle somewhere. He's obviously somewhere where he gets Wi-Fi or some kind of signal because he's telling his partner, his lover, whatever you want to say, the furry guy at home. He's telling him that they got an old guy and they got another guy that had his clothing on. So he's watching the news somehow because he's putting that in his thing. But he makes sure that when everyone's looking for him, he takes the time to stop at a Dairy Queen and get, I don't know, what is it? A shake and some nuggets? I don't know. He has a car, right? He had to drive almost 2.5 or 3 hours away. So he has a car to get to this college to do the thing he did. Why doesn't he go through the drive-thru and keep his hat on and his sunglasses or whatever? Why would you make sure you lifted up your hat, take your sunglasses off, and walked into one of the brightest and obviously televised, what do you call it? Video surveilled places. He's got it. Yeah, man, he's got to have that blizzard. This is a narrative. DQ Buster Bars. This is the official narrative. That's all I'm going over tonight is the official narrative. Do people believe this? I think so.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portillos. Do you have any comments on that?
For what?
We're discussing the rezoning on 53rd for...
Well, I live on 63rd.
Again, we're here to hear comments about the rezoning.
Well, I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet because I can't find a job. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
It makes about as much sense as what I've been reading. It's no wonder we're in the trouble we're in. Seriously. Right, Jan? Oh, shoot. So, what is this? It's easy to write a prequel. You can write anything you want, kind of like our history. Exactly, Neo. Exactly. So, so then, this was a crime scene, right? They don't cordon it off. In fact, this guy, who apparently works for Charlie Kirk, goes there and he removes the one view potentially that we'd see behind him. He takes the chair that Charlie Kirk was sitting on and stands on it to remove the camera. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Well, maybe I am, but I watched the video. Again, I don't know what happened that day, but it was very graphic. And let's just say there was an artery in the neck that was causing a lot of issues. And yet this is perfectly white here. And this is perfectly green here. I see no evidence of what happened there. None. Meanwhile, this guy goes and stands on Charlie's chair and removes the one camera angle that we haven't seen yet. Or some people say it's the hologram projector, whatever. He took that thing down. There's no crime tape. They're dismantling things. And then he takes whatever was in that camera somewhere and most likely removes the SIM card or whatever you want to call it. Somewhere here. Hurry up and do it. We got a show to run. There. And then he walks over, kind of out of frame here. Anyways, he took something out of there. We've never seen that view. This doesn't look like you would see on a normal crime scene. I've watched enough Vera or who's the other ones? Who we got? I said Endeavor. Some other good ones out there I'm forgetting. But in any case, I've watched enough that they're supposed to tape this. Even Miami Vice, they would tape this off. So there's a weird reference. Why? CSI. And then just before the show starts, let's go into here. Just before the show starts, just before the show starts, I keep saying the same thing over and over. I don't know what's going on.
I don't care.
Oh, here it is. Just before the show starts, there was breaking news. Breaking news with Ceiling Fan Man.
Take it away, silly fan man.
No, Miami Vice wasn't the one with Tom Selleck. It was the one with Don Johnson and the other guy. I don't know the other guy's name. I want to say Cheech Marin, but that was his other show. Yeah, Miami Vice is going way back. I should have said CSI. I'll fix it and post edit. In any case, right before the show started, Candace Owen says she actually saw the video. Huh? See? You get news first here. Oh, he's pulling on his ear. Kash Patel, what does that mean?
Gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again.
Now, this is her talking, not me.
Is that there's no blood. There's no blood from the back. There is no blood. So I think a lot of people were wondering whether or not that bullet pierced and went out to the back. I think I vaguely even remember, and Skylar, you can maybe live look this up, but like I thought the feds were saying they were looking for a bullet at some point, which is now very alarming to me. I don't understand that.
Why would they be looking for a bullet if it never exited? It should be right where it was left, right? Without saying it in a very violent way. But yeah, so a lot of questions there. And why did she get to see this video and we don't? Just saying. Not that it matters. Because again, the fallout from what happened here, it doesn't matter who you think who was involved or why. The fallout here, the arguing, the fighting, the whatever, the removal of more of your rights, that's what's happening. That's all real. Whatever happened that day, irrelevant at this point. God bless the families of the people that were there and involved in this in any way. May God give them peace for whatever happened that day. But the fallout is what we're all going to be living with for I don't know how long. Normal's not coming back. And then how about this? This is more just to like irritate people.
The Israeli military is now honoring the life of Charlie Kirk by writing his name on missiles that are being used to bomb innocent civilians in Gaza. Now,
can you believe that? They're actually writing his name on missiles, allegedly, supposedly. And it's just, more things to like irritate and piss people off and have them fight. The alleged shooter sat there and scribed all over his bullets, and we're like saying what a horrible person he is for doing it, and yet the military is doing the same thing, and it's celebrated. Yeah, Mad Pax, WTF? Yeah. Whatever happened that day, this is the fallout, and this is what we have to watch for. The fact that people are celebrating whatever side you felt on that, whether you liked what he said or didn't like. The fact that the storyline is he was taken out for speaking his mind should really be disconcerting to everyone listening at this point. Because it's gotten past the point where you can't have a disagreement with someone, you lose the relationship. Now it's they make a decision on whether or not you deserve to live. Meanwhile, it's the Chinese bots and the Russian bots making us, right? Smoke and mirrors, Groot. Exactly. Yeah. And Adriana, like, we're the crazy ones. Because I'm pointing this out. And I have to dance around and walk gently. Not just because of YouTube, but because, like I said, the president has been stating that if you're antiseptic, they'll come after you. And so I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not. I am Jewish. I'm just explaining to you the history and how we got to where we are.
And so here we are.
Meanwhile, this guy's getting super popular again. I don't know his story other than I watched him on Saturday Night Live. He was funny there. He was on Howard Stern a lot, and he had a lot of personal stories about how he took care of his father when he was passing away. It was very touching. He's not really huge in Hollywood anymore. So I don't know how this all works. I know that they're all part of a club, whatever, but I do believe there's some people that can get out. And I don't know his story. Like I showed you, I think Hogan, right before his character exited the main scene, he said a lot of amazing things about believing in Jesus. I understand that even the devil knows Scripture better than anyone. So it's hard to say. All I can go by is what I'm hearing coming across these screens. And yeah, I actually reached out to him to see if you want to come on the show. What a doofus I am. But in any case. Oh, sure. What's your show? Ceiling Fan Man? Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't sleep that night. You're absolutely right. And I did that. So hopefully he'll be on as a guest next week. Any case, listen what he says here. They allow them to spit out truth.
How many times you got to hear Trump say the central casting? What do you think that means? What do you think? What is Donald Trump's motive to constantly say, not once, a billion times, central casting, central casting. Look at this guy, central casting, central casting. And I'm going to go on a limb here. I don't believe in the whole assassination thing. I see the professional wrestling game. It's professional wrestling.
By the way, Trump is a professional wrestler. The first time I played anything that I got a strike, that I got a video taken down, was when I played him fighting Vince McMahon. Do that. Vince McMahon, taking him down in some kind of outside the ring neck hold or whatever, and they deleted it. But yeah, he's a wrestler. He's wrestled. He's an actor. He's been in movies. He has his own TV shows. You're fired, right?
They script it. You play the bad guy. We're going to fight in public. We do our photo op. Then we give it to the public. And then we control their emotions. You get this side and you guys get this side. And that's what they do. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I couldn't stand what was happening before him. But I do watch from a distance all of it.
And you're right. Where is it? Wendy. Yeah, he's part of Hollywood, but I don't know if he got out or if he's just, controlled opposition. They allow him to say things, but I've said all this about how often he says central casting. So, and we know that all these people have gone into podcasting. I was one of the originators. Well, come on. What is it? Tucker's got a podcast, and Michael No's got a podcast, and Roseanne's got one, and I mean, they all do it. So, anyways, so I thought that was interesting. And then more to show you that it is all scripted. So you got these cards. You guys all playing along with these cards? So you got this one, the Illuminati card. Enough is enough. It looks just like Trump, of course. At any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. Why am I bringing this up? Because he posted this video about Charlie Kirk after his passing. And he titled it on his channel or whatever it is. Oh, yeah, Charlie Kirk. His wife posted this, I guess, right? It's Trump saying this. And they titled it, Enough is Enough. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a YouTube guy. I'm sure all this is just complete coincidences, right? And then this. I talked about this last week. So Kash Patel, in his speech to Rest Now, Brother, Charlie Kirk, who was a Christian, believed in Jesus Christ and heaven, as talked about in the Bible. This guy says,
to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Okay. And I like one person's response was, if the character was fictional, then of course you would go to the fictional Asgard, whatever, with Thor and all that nonsense. There's people that actually believe in all that too. They're Norse gods and all that. Good luck with that. When the heathen rage, what does God do? He shuts that shit down. Sorry, excuse me, but yeah, he does. And so he says, you'll see in Valhalla. And of course, the internet runs with this. So here's the guy and one of the pictures that they found on his social media. And what's on his computer screen right here? Somebody mentioned this too in the comments too.
That island is called Goat Island, and it's located in New Zealand. That has a retreat called Valhalla.
So now you got a whole bunch of people saying, aha, see, he's in witness protection and he's at Valhalla on Goat Island. I'm telling you, whoever's writing this season, it's terrible. It's just terrible. It's horrible. And this is my favorite. I think this one won the internet for me. I can't tell you how many times I've watched this.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Now, I have a chauffeur that was given to me by Trish. I have always played it this way. Am I doing it backwards? No. So why is he blowing it that way? Come on, one more time, people. This is gold.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother.
We have the watch. I'll see you in Valhalla. I'm freaking out the dogs. Oh, shoot. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I agree. You guys okay down there? I even upset the cat. I see her. She's like wondering what's going on. Oh, my gosh. Okay. You love the show. Thank you. And for anybody that wants to play that over and over again, I'm definitely going to copy that and put it in the chat for you all. Okay, let's see. I'll throw that in there. I'll see you involved. That really won the internet for me for I can't tell you for how long. And if there is anybody over on Rockfish, here you go. I'll put it in there. And maybe Heather's over there sometimes. And then for my Rumble people, which mostly is Dennis, but there's a few others in there. God bless you. And I'll throw it in there in case you want to watch him go to Valhalla again. So, all right. So we got that. Was it loud? I can make it louder. Do I make it louder? I can do it loud. No, I won't do that to my dogs. Yeah, right. You're right. You like her. I think you mean your cat, but yeah, it took off. That's funny. Oh, they don't want me to do it again. Is that what you needed for this week? Okay, good. So love you too. Love it. Okay. I'm not gonna. If my wife says no, then I won't. So, anyways, even though Alfredo wants it again. Okay, let's see. Okay, where were we? Oh, we were in Valhalla. That's right. Okay, let's go back in here. Clickety click. So let's see. The more you know. Okay. All right. So we got that. And then, there are people saying, oh, there's this, that, the other, and some of it's a hologram. Hey, I've done a whole show several years ago. You can find it on my channel about holograms. I did it with Rose. And now what's going on in like that sphere and stuff. And I don't know where this was. You just have whales flying above your head. And I mean, 100%, it looks like they're with them, and dolphins. So, but yeah, this is all hologram technology. When they say they're going to do the alien invasion, I mean, it's not going to be hard to do. Definitely they can do it over the televised vision screens, your phones, all that stuff. But just for people in real life, they're going to be able to do something if they need to. And, I've also heard, oh, you can't say everything's fake and that the whole world's run by Freemasons. And I get it. I've heard that. And then don't forget that the Jimmy Kimmel live show that just got canceled because they said that there's moving trucks that hauled out all the furniture. So I think he's done. Was brought to you live every night each week from Masonic Temple. Did you know that? But I'm the crazy person for pointing this out. They're all connected. It all goes back to the same group. And when I say that, I'm not people that join. Like if you're in a Mason lodge, unless you're in the 33rd degree, probably a lot of it's normal and you're helping out communities and stuff, like Rotary and all that. But when you get into these higher degrees, it comes with a price. And so I'm sure it's just a coincidence that he was doing it from a Masonic temple. Could the shofar be a listening device? I don't know. I'll try that. Check that out later. Oh, MTV was in the Masonic Temple in Toronto, of course. So, what's next? And then, of course, this gal has now taken over Charlie Kirk's empire. And when you do the deep dive on her, I believe she was his handler. Now, how far was Charlie into all this? In the beginning, I think he was what they call a useful idiot. I think he really did have a love for God, Jesus, whatever. But at some point, he got caught up in all this. This gal, she's the reason he met Trump. She was courted. She'd never done a beauty pageant before. And Trump's beauty pageant, I guess is the way the story goes. That's what I wanted to go over. Yeah, she's wearing the Maltese cross or whatever. Nothing to see there. Just the fact that she's wearing it. The Knights of Malta. I mean, you can look into this on your own, but it's there. It's there. And so she was invited to join a beauty pageant. It was a Trump pageant, which she won. That's how she made the connection to Trump. Then somehow there's some weird story that she accidentally ran into Charlie standing in line at a trip to Israel. And long story short is he eventually introduced Maha, what's his name? RFK Jr. To Trump from Charlie. But it all starts with this gal joining into his thing. And so at what point did he potentially get compromised? I can't tell you that. I can just say that the storyline was he started questioning things that he shouldn't have been questioning, and that's why he's no longer with us. Can I prove any of that? No, nobody can. But it makes for an interesting storyline. But yeah, and her whole family's rich too. And she has parents that are the small hats, according to Connor. So yeah, I know, Susie, they're all actors. That's it. But yeah, she's not wearing any kind of Jesus cross. She's got the Maltese cross on. Just saying. So you guys can look that up later if you want. But it's all connected. It's the symbols and signs are there if you look. This isn't an accident that they all just happen to want to do the same thing. All of them, everyone. Where's my guy? You get this guy in an echo. Somewhere he's here. Whatever. There. Everyone! Okay, they're all doing it. It's not just an accident. It's not a weird coincidence. They all didn't just decide, hey, let me put up devil horns or do the shush, or all these are Masonic things. You can look them up. And then there's this. Okay, you can find a ton of people doing this. And that's the okay sign. I get it. But it also, for those in the know, the people that really want to present it, like I showed, was it LeBron James last week? He totally threw them up for no reason. Excuse me. The troubling thing is his wife posted this just recently. And somehow they took their child's hand, one of them, and you can see it's pushed up against glass, so that way they could hold it in this position, and made their child, baby, whatever, do it. I don't know. That's a little sus. I can't imagine ever making a baby. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. So, but I'm just here to point these things out. What? Where's that guy? You want him? I got him. Here he is.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
This guy had a really good take on it.
Everything is staged. Look at the Iranian parliament and compare it to the 2025 Oscars stage. We see the same Masonic symbolism. Movies are scripted, but so is politics. You see actors on stage, but who's writing the script?
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims.
Albert Pike, a 33rd degree Freemason, predicted it back in 1871. The Third World War will be triggered so that Islam and Israel destroy each other. A planned war designed to exhaust nations and impose a global Luciferian religion. This chaos was encoded long ago. The number 33 and the pyramid are the signatures of Freemasonry. Even George Washington was a member, but at the top, it's not God you find, it's Baphomet. The House of the Temple in Washington has 33 columns, each 33 feet tall, with a pyramid and a double-headed eagle, the same eagle used by the Russian Empire. Yet
why does all our money, why does everything in the United States have these damn pyramids on it? It doesn't make any sense.
they make you believe they're on opposing sides. The Israeli Supreme Court, again, a pyramid donated by the Rothschilds. And once more, the Iranian parliament, a pyramid with 33 windows. Coincidence? I don't think so.
There's also one right by in Paris, right? By that one museum. There's a pyramid, glass one.
After all, who owns the world? BlackRock, the Black Cube, just like the Islamic Kaaba, Jewish Kabbalah, or Trump Tower. All aligned around the same symbol. And what do you find at the center of a Masonic lodge? A black
chessboard. No.
Cube, the cube of Saturn. A master mason knows the script. The others just follow it. And as long as you pick a side, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You become a willing extra in their movie.
So that's an interesting way of thinking, don't you think? I'm just saying, we're being lied to on a level that we don't even understand. It's hard to comprehend. And I get pushback from people if they're not familiar with all the things that I've gone through or talked about over the years. And it's been a process the last 7-8 years, whatever this has been, waking up, realizing that they're all playing together and it's all against us. So yeah, the Louvre, that's the name of it. Yeah. Now, while all of that's going on in Utah, and everyone is focused on that and discussing what went down and how we're supposed to come back from that and what laws we need to put in place and did it happen? How did it happen? Everyone's discussing that. Meanwhile, does anyone even know this went down?
Everybody needs to know what America is doing to Ireland because just 6 hours ago, things escalated even more. Just a few weeks ago, I talked about how Ireland is voting on legislation to criminalize engaging in financial transactions with illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. At the time, just a couple weeks ago, US politicians started threatening Ireland about this on X. Well, now, just a couple hours ago, Ireland stated they're moving forward with the legislation, regardless of the threats from the United States. The reason this is such a big deal is because Israel is terrified of this happening. Israel is worried that if Ireland passes this legislation, then other EU countries might also begin to pass this legislation. Building settlements, colonization, it's a business enterprise. If it's not financially feasible, Israel can't do it. Now, this is where things have escalated. This week, 25 US congressmen flew to Israel. AIPAC paid for every single one of those trips. It was
250.
25 Republicans. Next week, it's going to be about 20.
Oh, wait, I take that back. Yeah, first they did the Republicans and Democrats. There's about 50 of them. Yeah.
Democrats. While they're in Israel right now, these congressmen government, at Netanyahu's request, are urging the Treasury Secretary to investigate and take action against Ireland for boycotting Israeli settlements. The U.S. government wants to take action against Ireland, which is a U.S. ally, because Ireland wants to end trade with Israeli settlements in the West Bank that are illegal by international law. People need to understand that regardless of how much the United States defends Israel, the EU does have the power to enforce a two-state solution because of the fact that the EU is Israel's #1 trading partner. If all of the EU banned trade with Israel to impose a two-state solution, Israel would eventually have to capitulate because it couldn't handle the financial sanctions against it. That's why they can't have Ireland start a domino effect that could cause other EU countries to do the same thing.
And didn't you say, hon, there was a country, was it Slovenia? Slovenia has done it already. Banned it, and by coincidence, I think that's where Melania's from. Just saying. So, and then here he is again, like I said, saying he's going to stop all. He's going to make sure free speech comes back. Okay. And now you got this guy who started a podcast. What does he say here?
You hope that. You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country.
And again, I understand how this works. It's a problem solution kind of thing. This guy is one of the guys that they're saying might take over the Charlie Kirk show or whatever. And he also wears the red Kabbalah and he's done all the hand signs. I get who he is. He's entertaining to listen to. He just always has been for me. But again, do you hear what he's saying? He's throwing that out there about the hate speech laws and all that, right?
And trust me, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever. And there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human.
So there's that. That's Tucker. He said it, not me. Okay. Let's get out of that. So, the more you know. Is Sarah here? Oh, she is. Let's see. I might be able to do this. Let's see. Let me put. What do I have here? Let me grab her. I think I can get her. Yeah, I'm going to try.
Get rid of that old mug. It's garbage. You want to drink out of a ceiling fan man mug. Brand new from Ronco. The Ceiling Fan Man mug. Get yours today. Have you ever dreamed of going to space? Well, you can't because it's fake, but you can get your very own Ceiling Fan Man mug. Proudly made in the exotic land of China. China. Your Ceiling Fan Man mug can hold cold liquid, hot liquid, granola, the TV remote. It can even stop a door from closing. Get yours today. Each Ceiling Fan Man mug comes with a commemorative box. Ooh. Order now and become your own legend by ordering a Ceiling Fan Man mug today. And if you order in the next 10 seconds, we'll include show notes scrambled up and autographed by Ceiling Fan Man himself.
But wait, there's more.
Any orders of 66
Okay. Get them, Sarah. There we go. Get them. Get those over there. Did you get them? Get them right there. I know you're not big on being on camera anymore. What's the matter with you? All right. You want to go? She is annoyed. You can tell. Fine. Go. There she goes. Okay. But at least she made an appearance. So we got that done. All right. How's everyone doing? Okay. So hopefully, so far, we're learning something. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. What do we have? I mean, clear these buildings really fast. This just goes along with the whole narrative about how I can prove they've been lying to us. Because these buildings, they didn't build them. They found them. The storylines are that they built these with no electricity, with hand chisels and giant horses and donkeys, and they're perfectly symmetrical and things that we can't replace today, provably so. The the expositions that they quote made all these temporary things and they had to tear them all down. So hang on a second, let me go over here. What I miss? Okay, we're good. All right. Look at this one. The Paris Opera. Look at that. How'd they build these things on this scale? I mean, everyone was an amazing architect. I don't know what schools they went to, but like this says, the Cowboys built this because this was in Texas in 1890. We got the narrative that they're going around with 6 guns shooting each other like in Tombstone. And yet someone's building these things. For what purpose, too? Why do they have to be so monstrously tall? I mean, this is in Berlin. They had an apartment store with 83 elevators and a glass-roofed atrium built in 1896 and then demolished in the 50s. Because there's no way this could stand on its own, right? They probably blew it up in the war. You're being lied to. There's no way that they built this thing. These people, and they're all wearing the same outfits like they were doled out uniforms. And this one is Indianapolis in 1875. They didn't even bother putting in streets or roads. They just built these monstrous buildings, and not just this one. You can see how far back this goes. There's no way. I ain't buying it. And you shouldn't either. You should start questioning these things if you haven't already. Hammer and chisel. Everyone was so good back then at architecture and building. And they had tons of material. Obviously, they could get it from who knows everywhere. And there's never any kind of scene of like when you see these under construction, they usually have like a few railings and stuff, but there's no like debris of construction of any kind. And this giant arch in the middle of nowhere for nothing, no reason. Just put it there. Because what? Because we had a lot of extra resources and a lot of time on our hands. Nobody bothered to do anything other than this for how long? 1890. This is in France. It says it was completed in 3 years. Sure it was. And look at the buildings on the sides of it. And the ones back here and stuff. It just goes on for days. And we're just supposed to, just take it. You got to make sure that arch is that big enough? I hope so. The size of a person. Why do you need to make this so huge? Just for aesthetic reasons? I guess. According to the narrative. Look at, here's Berlin. Look at that. Yeah, it's happening. You no longer can unsee it. Once you see it, it is ridiculous, Susie. Yeah. And I've covered it before, Eyes for Truth, about Hollywood and the Cowboys and stuff. I should probably cover that again. It's really kind of fascinating, that whole storyline is a joke. Yeah. Here's an ancient Egyptian temple, and here's a Victorian factory. Does anybody see any coincidences there, or is it just me? Oh, they really like the ancient Egyptian topography or whatever, or construction. Sure, okay, we'll go with that story. Meanwhile, here's 4 post offices from 100 years ago. You got that one, and there's this one, and then that one, and that one. What's that Sesame Street thing? One of these things is not like the other. They found these, they built that, and they found this. No, there's no other answer in my mind as to what could cause that. Yeah. This is what they were building in 1889 in Ohio, and this is what we build today. Because we can't build like this anymore. And they took this down to hide the old world from you. I mean, do you see this doorway here? It goes into the ground. How far down do these go? We'll never know. These are windows. This goes down farther than this. The narrative is that they have to destroy these because they're falling apart or war happened or whatever, and then they build this on top of it. And like I've said out here, they actually have like underground cities because they say that Seattle got destroyed, and so the best thing they could do is scrap it, throw dirt on it, and build a new one. But then here you got this in Spain. This kind of shows you. Look how far down this stuff is. This is the living space that they're living on. But there's way more beneath us. We don't know what's beneath our feet right now. Just saying. Look at this pyramid. We saw this. Now we've uncovered this. How much farther down does it go? Exactly. And I thought this was a great visualization. So they found this. I don't know what they're doing here. They're working on something. They found this elevator shaft in this building, and they put this metal bar down. See how far down it goes. And you hear it hit and it has a spark even, but then it keeps going. It's not done. It's still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Now. So that was 27 seconds before it actually hit the bottom. Isn't that wild? How far down? Where is the ground level anymore? We don't know because we're living in what was left over after everything happened. We're in the little season and everything's happened and we're living on what's left. And science tries to tell us that they know what's going on, and yet you'll never see. They say it's because it's in the new moon cycle. Still doesn't make any sense as to why you never, for me anyways, why you don't see the moon before, during, or after. Just saying. Science will tell you it's because it's a new moon and it's your focal and blah, 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 but whatever. Just doesn't make sense to me.
That makes no sense.
Exactly. All right. So let's see. Shoot, we're already at 8:30, 8:40. My gosh. There's still 180 people watching you. God bless you. Like, share, and subscribe, please. And, we haven't done yet. And there's people that come just for that. That'd be the Scary Space News segment.
This week in Scary Space News.
Using data from the Dark Energy Spectroscope, the DESI, scientists have created a video which you can fly through millions of galaxies. So there you go. Get your own animated cartoon and pretend you're flying through the galaxies like Superman or Princess Leia. Honestly, if there was any reason to stop watching the new Star Wars that came out, is when they had Princess Leia like explode out into space and then turn into a superhero and fly. And it's a joke. What a joke that series became. Meanwhile, there's air-defense missiles air defense missiles are shooting down a meteorite in China. Boom. There you go. You never saw that before, did you? Want to see it again? Boom. There you go. Proof that meteors in space exist in China. Astronomers have found 60 Dyson sphere candidates amongst stars. Now, the Dyson sphere isn't just a version of a vacuum cleaner. It matches up with Ezekiel's wheels in the Bible. So once again, science, who doesn't believe in the Bible, is making their things match up with things in the Bible. So I found that interesting. Because if I believe that they're lying to us about space, why are they telling us that some of their fake stars look like Ezekiel's wheels? So what's this? And of course, I've talked about this before, but it came around again. There is a asteroid called the 16 Psyche. They just put it right in the name. It's valued at 700 quintillion, enough to make every Earthling a billionaire. But of course, we don't go out with Bruce Willis and get that one and bring it home. No, what do we get? We get the God of Chaos is coming by again. I think he came by in 2024. Is coming back in 2029. So we don't get the gazillion, everyone gets to be a billionaire asteroid. We get the God of Chaos. So there's that coming soon to a theater near you. And then once again, like I've shown, when you take pictures of the Earth, it's in the outro. There's multiple versions. The continents are different sizes. Depending on what country you're from, the Earth is different colors and stuff. And now you got this. We're taking pictures of all these things now with the clearest views because we have these spacecrafts out there apparently. And so this is the clearest view of Venus. This is the clearest view of Jupiter. And you notice everything is just getting colors. Jupiter. So there's that. This, of course, is the clearest image of Jupiter's moon, Io. And then, but wait, there's more. Does it look like that? Or does it look like this? Because this is a photo of Jupiter's moon, Io. So I don't know. One of these is wrong, I would assume, or bad lighting. It's hard to tell. Here's the image of Pluto, which still kind of has Pluto in it, but not quite as obvious as they did before. Planet was discovered the same year that the dog was created in Disney, but that's complete coincidence. And scientists from China have reliably confirmed for the first time that the inner core of Mars is solid. So there you go. We've never been there, but we know what's in there. And so they know what's inside the center of that Tootsie Pop. And then there's this. Mars Curiosity found these, which looks like some kind of monster footprint. I don't know. You tell me what that is. But they're showing that as they found this on Mars. And again, because everyone's talking about Utah, nobody's looking at these things. They said they found ancient life on Mars, and now they finding these weird patterns in the dust or whatever. That one looks like a foot, and this one looks like, oh well, you tell me what that one looks like. Alien sat down naked. I don't know what's going on there, but I also found it interesting. Right after this came about, giggity. This gal said, "I want to go to Mars." She's becoming the first human to ever go to Mars, and is saying that she might never ever return to Earth. So maybe she's gonna go look for Matt Damon. I don't know. Matt Damon. And while this is all happening, China, the Chang 6 lander, made it to the moon. So they won the second space race, I guess. There's proof positive. See, that's it right there. It was filmed by the camera that they landed on the moon before they landed on the moon. Just like the moon landing that they were able to film, Neil Armstrong walking on the moon from the camera that was already there on the moon, right? So there's that. And apparently this is on the dark side of the moon, which Pink Floyd said didn't exist. But there's that. I don't think there's any humans in this, so they haven't quite won the space race yet. And what's left? Oh, this has got to be my favorite subject that's happening right now that no one seems to be talking about. There is a guy in Panama that swears he got a meteor that looks like a potato, and this thing grew out of it, like Venom from Spider-Man. Okay? And you're like, come on, Richard, or CFM. This looks so fake. And where is it? And the fact that he keeps it in his kitchen drives me crazy. Like if there's some weird alien creature coming off of this, why would you keep it in your kitchen? I don't even let my cat walk on my counters. Why would I put this on the counter? But this has become a huge thing, at least on the circles I look at. Let's see. Yeah, here. This is how it started. It looked like a potato. And it's funny because he has the site that it crashed, and he shows it, and it's still on fire. And I said to my wife, well, if it was that hot, how could he be and then why would you touch it with your bare hands if you not watched any movies? But in any case, how is the ground still burning? Like, it makes no sense. And then he shows that if you put a green leaf on it, it burns it. So he's got that going, right? Because you couldn't just heat up this piece of metal and then put a leaf on it and it would burn it. That would never happen. No, it's an actual rock from space, right? And then, well, that's spoiler alert. It already grew a bunch here. Let's see.
Okay, if this video...
Let's see. Does this guy show it? Yeah, the leaves. Oh, so he took samples of it and he's sending it all over to different science labs, whatever. Like how he even got the addresses, I don't know. But if this isn't the beginning of every like alien takeover movie, I don't know what is. So it turned into this, and he was getting freaked out about it. And so let's see. Is it this one? No, this one. So he started keeping it in a safe. And it took over the safe. Are you guys all with me on this? And it took over his safe. And of course, he keeps it in the dark because he said it grows more in the light. And so he locks it up in this safe. But then, do I have the rest of it? Oh, I missed it. It got bigger than this. He's keeping it in a like a
Ken Panama.
Let's see. He's keeping it in a freezer now. Let's see. Is it on here? No, that's just a safe. But it's gotten even bigger. It's like the size of there's Venom. It's like the size of a small cat. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's fascinating. So, yeah, and at one point he said he felt sick, but why did he keep touching it with his hands? And yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's entertaining at least. I guess I can't find. No, I'm off on a way tangent. Yeah, he got sick at one point. I don't know. He put it in a big refrigerator. It got so huge. I don't see that here, but in any case, that's what's going on. While everyone's worried about Utah, the aliens are here right now. Yes, Marcus, it's controlling him now. So, yeah, I saw this. Right, the Blob. Was that with Steve McQueen? That's going way back. So, all right, we'll keep an eye on this. I'll keep you reporting on that story. Meanwhile, why are we looking to space for aliens? They exist right now. Like we said earlier in the show, they're in the water. I mean, look at this thing. And it feels like that's a squid and he's feeding it a squid, which I just, I can't condone. But tell me if this isn't the creature of nightmares. I mean, that's some kind of octopus. I don't know. But yeah, we don't have to look very far. These creatures exist right now. And of course, Simpsons predicted it. So, anyways, what could possibly go wrong? What's left? I showed this last week, I think. Just proving the biblical narrative that why would you find seashells fossilized on top of a mountain? They find them on Mount Everest and stuff, unless everything was underwater at one point. And so it goes along with the biblical flood. So there's that. And that's us. I think that's everything. Wow. All right. What'd y'all think?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all I got in me. I didn't play the tiger tonight. In case Patty's here. So yeah. So that's it. I hope there was it was enjoyable. I hope there was some information that you took away from it. And I just want to end to let people know that no matter what's coming through these screens and through your life, no matter how difficult it seems, no matter how futile some of these things seem, just know that God is real and God is here right now. And you might be going through some trouble and some hardships. You might be having some health issues. You might be having some personal issues that hurt your heart. It's not a time to walk away from God. It's a time to reach out to him and cry out to him. There's a thing that people say that God only gives you what you can handle. And I believe he gives you just a little bit more than that, because if you could handle everything yourself, you would have no need for a relationship with him. And so in those moments when you feel like you can't handle it alone, that's when you make sure you call out to him and ask him to be there with you, because he will. And just recently I've experienced some of that myself in my personal life, is that I reached out and said, there's some things here that are very troubling. I can't handle. And he's helping me right through them. He's answering it. It's a beautiful thing. I can't describe the joy that I feel from my relationship with God. And I encourage you, if you don't have one, to get it right. Get it tonight. As soon as the show's over, find a quiet spot, turn off the lights, don't have a phone in there, and sit down and talk to God. Tell him your feelings, tell him your struggles, tell him the things that are bothering you and hurting you, and ask him for his help. And I'd be shocked if you didn't have the same experience that I and others have had. So dear Lord, please continue to watch over us and guide us through these times. Help those of us that are hurting, heal those of us that are sick. Continue to give us the strength and the endurance to get through these times. And whenever we feel that we can't get through it, help us, Lord. Pick us up, guide us through it. Take care of it for us. Carry us through. We know that there's always another potential bad thing coming on the horizon, but we also know that when you're with us, no one can take you away from us. And we thank you so much for all of our blessings, and continue to watch over us and our families and our loved ones, and guide us through these times with peace and joy in our hearts, and help us to make sure that we take away all fear, because we know that you have us. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. So there you go. That was like over 100 some tabs. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope there was some good information in there. And once again, I want to thank everyone, all the people that help us, not just financially, but that help us with their love and support, the prayers, emails, all that. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for visiting. Please enjoy this weekend. Fill your hearts with joy and love, and we'll all make it through it together. And I thank you all for being here. And with that, he says this with a knife in his leg.
Class is dismissed.
Okay. God willing, let's do this again. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
This executive order is for the Ceiling Fan Man show on YouTube on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Everyone needs to watch it.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
All right. Enough of that nonsense. Here's the outro. Thank you all again. God bless you all, and good night.
I'm the satellite.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.